guys, this life can be so hard. So he dumped you, or she dumped you, or they discarded you, or maybe you the one who did the dumping. I don't know. But now it feels like you can't move on, and you start singing songs like I can't live, living is about you, or you're crying, whatever it is. I know you guys do that. At least I do that. I don't know about you, but I do it. But wait a minute, sis. Why are you giving them so much power? Why? The questions you need to ask is, how do I let go of this person effectively? How long will it take to heal? And does time heal all wounds? And not you're gonna cry. Let me say that again. So the questions you need to ask yourself is, how do I let go of this pain, of this wound? How long will it take for me to recover and to completely heal effectively from this wound? And lastly, you need to ask yourself, will time heal this wound? Shout out to a friend of mine who asked me this question when I got dumped. Ooh, I got dumped really bad. Really bad. And he asked me the question, he asked me if time can heal all wounds, or if I think time can heal all wounds. It got me thinking, it got me really thinking deep, and I came up with a solution based on a conversation. The time I spent reflecting based on this question got me thinking, and I realized that there are wounds and pains and hurts that heal over time. But the bulk of them actually need a process. You need to go through a healing process, a proper defined healing process that will help you let go and overcome whatever it is that you've been going through in a proper manner so that it doesn't pop up in the future, right? Because in most cases, you find that you go through certain hurt, somebody dumps you, you carry on way too quickly without really doing any soul searching, without really doing any healing. You just kind of like bury whatever it is and move on, and your storeroom or your heart storeroom kind of like gets filled up, and 20 years, 30 years down the line, that past and all the toxins, they kind of explode and they burst out, and you become a mess, and everybody just wonders what is going on. You thought this person is cool, what's going on? And then you start talking about things from when you were 18, when you got dumped, and you talk about this and that, and people are like, you're 50. Dude, you are 50. Why are you crying about when you were 18, you know? So basically with this video, I just want you guys to learn how to effectively get over something, someone, any sort of hurt, whether you lose a loved one, whether you are hurt, whether you get fired, or whatever it is. I just want you guys to learn proper steps that you can follow in order for you to heal properly. So earlier on, I mentioned that there are certain wounds which heal over time. Let's use your body as an illustration, right? Let's say you're cooking up a spoon and you cut yourself with a knife. You cut your thumb with a knife. So what happens is you bleed just slightly, it's not so bad. You rush to the sink and you rinse the thumb. You take the kitchen paper and you just wrap it and stop the bleeding. Then you quickly get a bandage or plaster and then you just wrap it around your finger. Then you carry on cooking, right? In most cases, you will carry on cooking. As long as the bleeding has stopped, you'll carry on cooking. Within 3 hours, you basically forget that you were hurt. It might still sting slightly, but it won't be that bad. Within 3 days, come on guys, you even forget, there's no plaster in your finger anymore. You even forgot you once got hurt. In the same fashion, there are certain hurts that are so shallow and that they're not so deep. You only need to recognize whatever somebody did. Maybe your best friend lied to you or they lied about you, and you find out you're able to recover from that quickly. You're able to say, okay, you know what, she wasn't that much of a friend in any case, and then you move on. Within 2 months, 3 months, you've got a new best friend and everything's fine. Or you were just starting to date someone, but it didn't mean anything. They dumped you or you caught them cheating or something, and then you just kind of say, look at it, interesting, and then you move on. In those kind of instances, heartbreak, pain, wounds can heal over time. You don't need to search deep, you don't need to think about it, it just kind of like heals over time, naturally. And that is how our bodies are designed, and that is what our minds also do. But as I said, the bulk of our heartbreaks and pains are so deep seated, you guys. You feel like, I cannot live without this person. I cannot carry on another day. I cannot, this is the end of my life. So this is what I want us to talk about. If you were able to watch this video up until this time, this moment, if you were actually able to click on the video based on the title, I know one thing about you. You've got a deep-seated pain. You've got something deep inside that is buried and you need to release it. Or you just got it dumped and it hurts like crazy and you feel like, my life is over. It is over. It is done. I cannot carry on. I cannot. I know that you feel like you need a way. You need something to help you get over this someone or this wound or this pain. And you guys, I'm telling you, I've been in that situation. I know what I'm talking about. I went through the whole process and I still use the whole process every single day. In fact, I use the process and it works for me. So I hope it's going to work for you the same way. Remember, no process works if you do not follow it. I'm about to share with you a 3-process approach that will help you get over anyone and any situation quickly and effectively as a bonus. So again, let's use your body as an illustration. So say you are walking down the street, chatting on your phone as usual, and somebody decides to come up to you, mug you, take your phone, take your handbag, and even stab you on your abdomen. You get rushed to the ER, and the first thing they will do, they will cleanse the wound and try to stop the bleeding. Then they will go deep inside the wound, trying to extract any particles that might be left from the knife. They will also cleanse the wound from deep within, in case the knife was frosted, in case you've got toxin. They will try to cleanse it so that it doesn't rot. Once they've done that, they stitch you up, apply an ointment, and put a bandage around it. And next, they give you painkillers, they give you anti-inflammatories and antibiotics, and whatever else they can give you. This is so that they attack the wound from within, and they also attack the wound from outside with the ointment and the bandage. Just before you leave, they also give you instructions on how to cleanse the wound every single day at home, right? Then you get home. The healing will not depend on the time only. So if you don't follow the process, the cleansing method and the medication they gave you, it doesn't matter how long you give it, it will not heal. Instead, says what will happen? It'll begin to rot, it'll have a sepsis, you will get really sick. Okay, you will really get sick. So, in the same fashion, there are certain wounds, certain heartbreaks that are similar. Like, that is just how our bodies work and how our emotions work. We are human, that's how it is. So, don't try to dodge the process and stuff. There are certain hurts that it doesn't matter how long you give them, they will never heal. Instead, it seems like it's getting worse. It seems like you basically covered up that heartbreak and you just buried it, and 10 years later it comes popping up like a septic wound that was never cleaned properly, right? The 3-step approach will have you walking around, jumping up and down, smiling around really quickly, and it's very easy to follow. It's something that you do every single day. But let me warn you. If you don't follow the process, it's not going to work. And before you start, you have to be ready to face up with yourself. Because what the process does, it goes deep into your wound. And it gets all that garbage out and it suffers, and then you have to face it. You have to force yourself to face reality. Sometimes you have to face up with yourself in order to let go of stuff and move on. Because in any situation, there's always 2 stories. There's always 2 sides to the same story, right? We often look at the other person and it's their fault, but this process forces you to also see your own contribution. There will be times when you feel like you've made it, you've overcome whatever it is, you're moving on, and then all of a sudden something resurfaces out of the blue. When that happens, repeat the process. The more you repeat the process, the faster the healing and the more effective the healing. So you can't expect to do the process today and then forget about it. It has to be a daily thing. In certain days, I repeat the process so many times, you guys. Like, I could be sitting and suddenly I remember something about when I got dumped and I start crying. But what I do quickly is remind myself, get myself up and do the process. Sometimes the mind is also designed to fool us in order to make life easier for us. The mind adjusts certain events, it romanticizes them, it makes them seem easier, just so that we are able to live, just so that we're able to carry on with life without being in a traumatic state. And that is quite dangerous. It's helpful, but it's dangerous at the same time because sometimes you might go back to your own vomit. You sort of forget why you don't want to be with someone or you don't want to be in a situation, and then you find yourself going back to your own vomit because your mind played its trick on you. And once you back into your own vomit, the same thing starts happening again. You get dumped again. And so we don't want that. So when the mind starts doing that, please repeat the process. Tell the mind, repeat the process. So without further ado, let us do this. Let me actually sit up because this is quite, yeah, this is something else. So here's our three process approach. Something that you have to do immediately after the situation happens. After you get dumped, get onto this immediately. Get down into it. The first process, the first process is called recognition. You need to recognize the situation exactly the way it is. The reason it's important for you to do it immediately after you get dumped or immediately when your loved ones pass away and stuff is because the mind is designed to augment traumatic events. It will adjust any event, romanticize it, and make it seem as if it's lighter than what it is. It will also bury certain things, and you will forget a lot of details about what happened. That is why, again, someone will treat you so badly and then even dump you and discard you. And then when they come back 3 months later, you take them back because their mind has adjusted. It made you forget. So, in order for you to recognize the situation exactly as it is, the first thing you need to do, you need to allow yourself and force yourself to face up with it. Don't hide and bury your head in the sand. You need to get up. And you know what? It's so much easier to face up with the situation immediately when an event has happened because the mind doesn't recognize that something bad happened yet. It isn't caught on. So if you are smart enough and attack it and face up with it before the mind changes it, trust me, you will let go quickly. You will heal so much more effectively. So face up with the situation. Allow yourself to see your contribution within the situation. How did you play a role? And allow yourself to see the realness of the other person's role. Face up with it in such a way that it becomes real. Don't lie to yourself, please. Okay. Step two, you need to identify the situation exactly the way it is. When you identify something, you need to label it. You need to verbalize it. You need to give it proper and fitting, appropriate vocabulation. You need to label it and describe it exactly as it is. No fairy tale stories, no making excuses for yourself, no making excuses for someone else. Make it as clear and blunt as you possibly can. The third step is record keeping. Don't allow yourself to say you'll remember because the mind is going to catch up with you, sis, and it's going to play tricks on you and it's going to turn the bad people into good people and crazy things are happening. It's going to erase certain things, bury certain things, so don't. Do an effective record keeping. I usually use voice recording. I record the situation so that whenever I feel like, oh, maybe I should forgive him, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should go back, I listen to the voice recording and I'm like, I ain't going there. Mind you, not gonna play tricks on me. If you're somebody who likes diarizing, you can do a good write up. I'm very lazy. I don't like writing. I've got an ugly handwriting in any case, and very bad record keeping when it comes to paperwork. My paperwork gets lost as over. So voice recording, good. Keep that thing on Google Drive. Keep it on the cloud because phones break, and if the phone breaks, your memory it basically gets erased. So keep it on the cloud where you know you're gonna find it 10 years later so that you don't go back to that dude. People don't really change. Some people change, but people in general change slightly or never change whatsoever. The second process is called letting go. In order for you to let go effectively, you need to do the first thing. The first step is to tame your ego. Everybody has an ego. I know we talk about men and their egos, that even females have egos. The ego is that part of you that never wants to be wrong. It never wants to be corrected. The ego is that part of you that says, I have a goal and I want to achieve it with this person. If this person dumps me, they cannot possibly dump me. How are they going to live without me? How am I going to live without them? I cannot possibly let them exit my life. How am I going to achieve this goal? How is it possible? I've made the calculation. I did everything right. How is it possible? The ego is that part of you that never wants to accept. So you need to learn to tame your ego, sis. You need to learn to say, ego, this is me and you here. I need you to let go of this thing. I need you to just accept that things aren't always going to be the way you want them to be. Accept that in this situation, ego, it ain't working. It ain't working. And the next step, you need to accept the situation the way it is. You need to tell your ego, it's time for you to accept. Accept the outcome. Accept defeat. You need to accept that you cannot control people. Accept that even though your intentions were well-meaning, maybe the other person's intentions were not well-meaning and they didn't have a long-term goal with you. You need to accept that you cannot be everything for everyone. You are not the world's greatest. You are not um, irreplaceable. It goes back to your ego again. So it's the process of acceptance where you gently talk to your ego and you tell your ego, please, let's accept this, please. And lastly, the third step is about letting go. Letting go is a natural thing that the body wants to do. For example, right now, I need you to breathe in. Take a deep breath. And try to hold that breath for 60 seconds. Unless you are a very good swimmer and you practice for so long to hold your breath, 60 seconds is a pretty long time, right? It's a pretty long time. Most of us, by 60 seconds, you just want to let go. Now try to hold it for 2 minutes. It's almost impossible. Try to hold the breath for 10 years and tell me if you're going to do it. I mean, dude, at that point you are dead. D-E-A-D, dead, right? So, in the same fashion, when you hold on to that stuff, when you hold on to hurt, when you want vengeance and you want this and that, you're basically going against the natural process or the natural tendency of a body to let go. After 60 seconds, when you breathe out, you know the relief. You've been holding on so long and you just, that is what letting go is. People try to make letting go so complicated. Letting go is simply releasing. Try to imagine if you were to hold a ball, right, a tennis ball, and I said, hold this tennis ball for 10 minutes and don't move your hand, just hold it like this for 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, maybe you might do it. Try to hold it for 10 years. Trust me, your body will want to just, and your fingers will just want to release. That's what letting go is all about, essentially. Very simple. So, every time the ego tries to hold on, just say, I accept it, release. That's it. That is so simple. And lastly, process number 3. This one is my favorite. You have to repeat this as often as you possibly can. The more you do it throughout the day, the better you get healed, the faster you get healed. The more you do it, the easier it is to do it. It just becomes a natural thing, and it just kind of like trains you on how to let go and to move on and heal effectively in all future events. You start having a confidence that if pain comes, I know how to handle it. I've got this, right? It's a 3-step cycle, which means you keep repeating the cycle over and over and over and over until you've really released and you don't even think about the process anymore. The 3 cycles are: you forgive yourself, you forgive others, you forgive the situation, you forgive anything. Every time the situation pops up, you forgive. Just Just forgive yourself for the part that you played. Forgive the other person. Forgive the situation. Forgive, forgive. Even forgive yourself for wishing the person could die, or wishing the person could choke on whatever they're eating or whatever. Even forgive yourself for thinking those things, right? Then let go. Let go of the guilt. Let go of not forgiving. Let go of the vengeance. Let go of anything you might have done in the process. Let it all go. Release it. And allow yourself to move on. This process, this three cycle process, is kind of like a repeat of um, our first and second process, if you look at it. But the thing is, if you only allow yourself to tame your ego, accept the situation, label it, identify it properly, and you do those things without coming to this cycle where you keep repeating, you might find that you end up burying things. You might find that you're not effectively healed. So the third process allows you to keep going back. Every time something pops up again, you acknowledge it, accept it, identify it, tame your ego, and then you start forgiving yourself and all the stakeholders. And then you let go properly, consciously letting go, forcefully letting go. And then you move on. You allow yourself to move on. So you guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe, please share the video, please comment below. Also, please come up with suggestions if you want me to have any other videos. This is actually my first video in the channel. I'm trying to come up with a channel that will help the youth in South Africa and in the world in general. And I'll also be adding some of my music in the mix. And so thank you so much guys for watching, and goodbye.